First, I want to introduce myself. My name is Lilinsheng. I come from Zhengzhou, Henan province. I'm native Chinese. China has 56 different nationalities. Each has its own characteristics. I am 56 of the Han people. In the ancient mythology of China, a goddess was made into a lot of small people, but also give them life. The Chinese nation is made up for two big heroes, one called the Yellow Emperor and one called the Yan Emperor. Some people say that Chinese people are their descendants, so they are also called the Chinese nation for the yellow descendants. The foundation of cross-cultural communication is culture. Culture, what is it? The so-called culture and civilization, according to British anthropologist Tyler in 1871, are complex that encompass information, beliefs, arts, morals, laws, conventions, and other skills and behaviors that people pick up as members of society. I have been living in a relatively feudal social environment since childhood, and the emphasis on gender education in Chinese education courses is far less than others. Therefore, we have been solidified by gender since childhood, as if we have been arranged characteristics from birth. A woman should take care of her husband and teach her children, and doing housework is your job. Is the value of our existence to be taught to men to reflect their value. We often say to people who think feudalism, the Green Qing dynasty died early. This means that these ideas and words should also disappear with follow of feudal dynasty. When I was in high school, the boys in my class took it for granted that the best opportunities should be given to them. The teachers would limit the consideration of boys in some important activities, and they would think that girls were just not as smart as boys. But then the girls who fight for their own opportunities were the target of ridicule. Feminism again is the Euro target. What's feminism? Its real purpose is not to fight for more privileges from society, but to return to the female group itself, organize activities, create opportunities, let the female group be more excellent, pursue excellence, and win respect. When I was in junior high school, for some reasons, I moved to another city to study. At the beginning, I spent my first months peacefully relying on my curiosity for science, but I gradually found that their thoughts seemed different from my cognition, or even a little backward. My family belongs to an ordinary middle-class family. My grandparents are both doctors, and I was brought up in a strict upbringing. Compared with others, my parents taught me more spiritual connotations, so I am more self-consistent, and my personality is relatively independent. At first, I tried to explain and communicate, but later I found that it was useless. Just like Chinese saying, when you talk to a pig, you can never raise not. They seem to form a complex system, and I became the one who wanted to change the world. And some of my classmates even began to isolate me. So later I forget it out. Start focusing on self-improvement. In my childhood, the elders in my family teach great importance to the education of behaviors. For example, my father taught me from young age how to pay attention to eating etiquette at the dinner party, and first respect the elderly and respect the sage. Secondly, the use of chopsticks should be paid attention to etiquette. Every important festival, everybody will get together, especially our traditional festival, Spring Festival, which is also my favorite festival of the year. Every time at this time, everyone will begin, decorate, and tidy up the home several days in advance. On New Year's evening, everyone will sit in front of TV while watching the Spring Festival Gala. The second day is the first day of the new year. My brother and my sister and I will pay New Year's greeting to our grandparents first, then to our parents, and then we will get a lot of lucky money. In terms of hometown culture, what impressed me most was going to temple fire with my grandparents when I was a child. We'll test the roadside snacks to the temple fire scene. Grandpa always dragged me to see the dragon and lion dance. Grandma liked to take me to stage selling incense and lazing supplies. When I go into the temple fire, my grandparents always tell me many folk story and traditional custom. For example, why the dragons and lions dance at temple fires, and why we eat certain snakes. The cultural significance behind it makes me very interested. Every temple fire is not only simple play, but also a cultural inheritance. Last but not least, in terms of personal cultural background, most of us use nonverbal communication in our daily life. As Chinese, most of us cannot express our thoughts directly when communicating with others. In fact, also this approach can avoid the escalation of conflicts to a certain extent. It may also lend misunderstanding and emotion estrangement. As I said, staying silent doesn't effectively communicate your feeling or needs, which makes it difficult for both parties to understanding what the others is really thinking. Using silence as temporary defense mechanism can be beneficial, but ultimately learning to express grievance and boundaries is appropriate in appropriate ways is a key to healthy communication. Using silence as a temporary defense mechanism can be beneficial, but ultimately learning to express grievance and boundaries in appropriate ways is the key to healthy communication.